हेलो गाइस। वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। इस वीडियो में हम लोग बात करेंगे GDPI वैट के बारे में। एवरीथिंग एंड एनीथिंग यू शुड बी नोइंग टू एस ऑल योर इंटरव्यूज। So let's get started. So GD-WAT-PI, these are three different things. First of all, you need to realize most of the colleges GD लेना बंद कर दिया। आई थिंक NMIMS में है, IIFT करिकुलम में था पिछले बार भी लेने का, बट लिया नहीं था। एंड what is WAT? Written ability test is something it has been replaced by. So you should definitely practice it. And the final and the most important part is the personal interview part. This is where it makes or breaks. The video will be a bit long because सब कुछ cover करना है, but I can assure once you hear it and follow it, everything will be done and dusted. You will be on the right path towards the interview preparation. So why an early preparation is important? Understand कि CAT में score लाना is half battle won, and you are now going for a higher challenge. Why do I say it's a higher challenge? Because now you will be competing with everyone who is good. Before, what used to happen? That during CAT, you are competing with 3 lakh, 2 lakh, 2.8 lakh aspirants, out of which 70% are not even prepared. But mostly everyone who gets the call and attend the interviews are very prepared. And in most of the places, not all, in most of the places, only one person is chosen. Or like for every one seat, 3 or 4 people are called for an interview, which means the selection rate is 35 to 40% mostly. This is scary. 35 to 40% is the selection rate. So imagine for every seat, you'll have to defeat 2 to 3 people. Is it easy? Definitely not. Definitely not. And to be prepared to that level, you have to work very hard. The process is slow, but consistency will definitely beat the result. So you need to make sure that you are always throughout consistent till your last interview. Until obviously the last interviews or interviews are the one which for the college which you don't want to go to. But this is the basic setup. Now we'll talk about the PI. I'll only talk about PI preparation because for GD and whatever you need to prepare will be mostly covered through your PI preparation with an added tinge of just writing or practicing in group. So you don't need to separately prepare for GD and WAT, but like you have to prepare really hardcore for PI, and everything will be sorted for sure. So the PI is divided into 3 parts. No, I would say 4 or 5 parts. 5 parts. The first is your HR question. The second is your general awareness or awareness about a lot of things, not only general awareness. Third is your academics. Fourth is your domain preparation. And fifth is abstract, which is anything that they can ask under the sun. You'll be actually shocked to read a lot of interview experiences, and you'll be stunned to see the questions that were asked. Not even in your wildest dream you could imagine that who can ask this to me? What the hell? So be prepared for a lot of surprises that are coming up. Lots and lots. Hmm. We'll start with the first one, HR questions. What are HR questions? So those questions are primarily asked to you with the purpose of knowing yourself, to know the reason why you are here, you're fit for the program, and mostly the professors will judge if you are really interested in the program, should you be there in this program, how are you as a person, and to know more about you. So to prepare about this segment is very crucial. How do you start? First, write a really elaborate essay about yourself. What should it contain? Everything that comes in your mind. It's just like you would say a biography or of yourself and have it as elaborate as possible. I remember I had an essay of 5 pages. So write as much as possible. Recall everything that you have done in your life and that you feel could add some value in the interview journey. That is important. This essay will set the base for all your HR questions. So be serious while writing it. But what are the kind of questions that could be asked? First and the most popular question, tell me something about yourself. These are the type of questions that come. Why do you want to do an MBA? What are your strengths and weakness? Tell me something which is not in your CV. Again, so there are a variety of questions. You'll find a repository. You just go and search online, and you'll be shocked to know like so many questions can exist. I personally prepared 40 questions, 40 HR questions, and a lot of it came handy for me during my interviews. So the amount of effort you put for this one will actually pay off exponentially. It will actually pay off exponentially. Also, all the answers that you write should be backed by an instance. So if you are telling about your strengths and you're just saying, I'm an initiative taker, but you have never taken an initiative, not done. So make sure that all the instances that you have put in your essay, you pick instances from them, answer it for your HR questions. And why is this important? To command trust. So if you say them instances where you have shown your skills or where you have actually put in effort, and there is some kind of proof, obviously, it should look genuine. So a lot of people, what they do is they just make an answer, They go first time in front of recruiters without, sorry, not recruiters, interviewers, without practicing. And it looks like it's rehearsed, it's written in the wall, and they're just recalling it and saying it. This looks extremely bad. You're saying about yourself and you don't know how to deliver it, not done. So everything that you write in your HR question should be thoroughly practiced to make sure that it doesn't look scripted. It should look natural coming out from your mouth. It should look like, yes, you are telling it from inside and it's not something you have written and memorized. Extremely important. So the first thing, HR question. Also to add to it, if you are someone who has done internship or has done work experience, so everything that you know about the company, so it consists to a lot of things, but what you have done in your company, have you handled any crisis? What initiatives have you taken? And apart from that, obviously, the CEO of the company, the market value of the company, the stock price of the company, this and that. But mostly everything should be covered about your company, whether for an internship or work experience, former work experience. Don't leave it out. It's very, very, very crucial. With this, we come an end to the HR part. Second, academics. So realize one thing that most of the people who will take your interviews are the professors of this B school. I mean, by this B school, I mean that the B school you are interviewing for. And they are mostly concerned about your academics. So you need to show them your sincerity. Why do they ask academics? You would wonder that you are having 3 or 4 years of work ex and you are being asked academics which have done 8 years back. Why? So they want to see first your sincerity about how you studied. Are you a kind of student who would just enroll in the course and then never study about it? Professors don't really like it here. And that is why you need to show them that yes, you would be sincere towards whatever is being taught. So what do you need to do? First, get the basics clear of every subject that you have heard in, like, not heard, read in graduation. They will have your mark sheet with you. They can see the subject and the marks. So they will know what are the subjects you have scored good in, what are the subjects you have scored bad in. And you don't want to project yourself as someone who really doesn't even know the basics of the subject you have learned. So pick up all the college notes. If you don't have them, ask them from any junior or anyone who might have it. Go to internet. If let's say you are an electrical engineer, go to internet, search what are the common questions for an electrical engineer in an MBA interview. You'll get a repository of questions. Practice them. This is there for all the fields. Like I'm a BCom, you can go for a certain topic, let's say corporate finance. So write what are the corporate finance questions that could be asked in an MBA interview, and there will be a repository of questions. Even ChatGPT can answer you that. So I would recommend you to use ChatGPT as well. So there are three tips here which I would like to say. First, if you are a fresher or under 2 years of work, having your academics clear is extremely crucially important for you. Why? Because they professors mostly see like people who have 3 or 4 months or 3 or 4 years of work ex. Professors usually, not always, but usually cut them a slack. Okay, they have worked for so much time, so they might have forgotten stuff. But if you are under 2 years, professors expect you to know things, and that is why you should be knowing it all. Second, pick up a few subjects, 2 or 3 subjects, and master them completely. Professors sometimes randomly ask, "What is your favorite subject?" Like for me, it was marketing. And if they could have asked mostly anything about marketing, I was equipped enough to answer. I have done so much of readings in marketing. So you need to make sure that you practice 3, 4 subjects in such depth that any kind of question thrown towards you would be easily answered by you. And third, they will have your mark sheet. So whichever subject you have got really good grades in, make sure you learn them as well. Because if the professor sees, oh, you have got so good in statistics, okay, answer this question, and you're not able to answer, well, that's a major turnoff. Remember, again, I'm reiterating, professors, most of the people who will take your interviews are professors, and they're mostly concerned about your academics. So if you show them as someone who is not academically serious or not academically sound as such, you're gone. Doesn't mean that you need to be expert in every subject, but basics should be very clear. A few subjects should be definitely mastered, preferably the ones in which you're interested in, and also the ones in which you got really good marks. COVID batch, this is a kind of a signal for you. You have to study everything. So free marks doesn't, like I would say, free marks doesn't last long. But this is your moment, extra hard work. Third, awareness. So there are a lot of brackets in awareness I'll discuss about. The first is the current affairs. So what are the kind of current affairs you need to cover? First is about nation. Second is about your state. Third is about the industry that you have working in or you have worked in, or if you have a family business. So for example, I had a family business, which was a kirana store. I would say it was an MSME. And in my FMS interviews, they asked me policies regarding the MSMEs that were taken by government during the COVID so that MSMEs do not suffer a hit. I honestly was not able to answer fully because I was not anticipating it, but a few of the policies I was able to highlight, and that was kind of a relief for me. I wouldn't say exactly a relief, but yeah, I understood that whatever industry you are in, they'll definitely be asking. So what do you need to prepare? You can follow a PESTEL approach. PESTEL is political, economical, social, technological, environmental, and legal. For all the brackets that I mentioned, if you can just look through it. For example, in India, what is politics? What is going on in politics? What is going on in economics? What is technology going on, like UPI and all? You can cover everything regarding this and you will be sorted for sure. About your interest also, you should cover a lot of things. For me personally, it was cricket. So you should be knowing what is the history of cricket, obviously, about World Cups, how pitches are made, what is the size of bat, ball, what is the size of a pitch, what is the standard size of a ground, and the current happenings like the World Cup happened recently. IPL auction is taking place. About women cricket, definitely you should read because that is where a lot of people get stuck. They tell cricket, but if they're not able to answer about women cricket, then they come across as someone who has a limited worldview. To cover for the current affairs, you can look for all the major happenings that happened in the last 12 months. This is extremely important. All the major happenings that happened in the last 12 months. Look for the pros, cons, how it affected India. What do you look for it in the future, or how do you think the future will be? And read a lot about it. Reading is very crucial, very, very crucial. For everything that you read, everything about national, your state, interest, industry, domain, anything, you should have opinions. And that is why you should look for a variety of sources, collect a lot of information, make notes on a Google Doc and store them. I made a Google Doc of more than 50, 60 pages, I remember, and it had all the current affairs that I read about. For example, if I'm reading about PLI scheme, so first I have written a bit about the history, how much the government has sanctioned, what are the kind of companies they are looking for, what is the current development, like which companies have been offered a PLI scheme and which industry they are in, what is their commitment, how much they are willing to invest, and everything like that I have made. And I go in time to time and revisit them so that it gets ingrained in my memory. That is extremely important because you might have just read one or two times, but obviously your brain will tend to forget. But if you read it continuously, 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 you won't forget. It's easy to say that you remember, but when being spontaneously asked that, hey, how much according to you government has invested for PLI? You won't be able to answer because you have read it, but you have not read it enough times to get it in a second. That happened with me in my IIM Kozhikode interview. So make sure that it does not happen with you. Not a make or break, but obviously a downside in your confidence as well as sometimes in the minds of the interviewer as well. Third, you should know about a few historical stuff. By historical stuff, I say all the major events that have happened in the history. For example, World War II, World War One, the COVID that is happening. It's going on, but it's kind of history. Or anything that you think can come. For example, yeah, the examples that I told previously, uh, Facebook.com bubble, 2008 recession, everything. So these are the few historical events that you should definitely read about in depth because a lot of things that have changed in the world is because of these events. And if you're not knowledgeable about them, then it becomes a major turnoff. Adding on to that, you should also know basic civics, like what are the powers of president, prime minister, how many Lok Sabha seats, Rajya Sabha seats are there on in India, in your state, also the recent developments regarding it. Everything, basic civics should be definitely read to portray yourself as a responsible citizen. Understand that you are someone who is going to do an MBA but does not even know how many seats are there in Rajya Sabha. So you're not a responsible citizen, you are not an informed citizen. And that is something they don't like because the professors here are very well educated and what they expect from you is a bit high, to be honest. The bar is a bit high set, and to even be close to that, you have to put in a lot of efforts. So don't shy away from putting efforts. I'll keep you posted from time to time what are the type of questions you should be practicing, but take note of the ones that I'm saying right now. So the question might come, Hemant, how do I even prepare for them? They are too much, the current affairs are too much. So I am someone who read newspaper daily, not the full newspaper, the first page, opinion page, op-ed page, and then Hindu Business Line ko also first page, opinion page, op-ed page. Also, because I had a digital subscription, I just used to go through all the news and find any article that seemed interesting to me. For example, let's say if there's an article that say four people killed in a car accident, I don't see it as very relevant. But if there's an article that said that XYZ company decided to invest 1,000 crore in this state, then it seemed uh, I would say legible to me to read, even interesting and also relevant for me from the perspective of MBA interviews. That okay, even though I'm not in the state, but it's a part of the country and it's being invested in the country. If sometime I have to go to that state, I should be knowing that these are the things that are going on. So try to go through the headlines. If you find something interesting and relevant, then take it up, read it. Even if you don't find it interesting but relevant, then please read up. It won't take more than 1 hour for you to do this activity if you do it regularly. Adding on to that, I followed YouTube. I followed Study IQ, World Affairs, Think School, Aditya Sani, Backstage with Millionaires, and a few other channels. I'll list them down in the comments and the description box. I'll also attach the channel link so that you can take a look. But this is all I did. I maintained very comprehensive notes to make sure whatever I'm reading or whatever I'm hearing, I can revisit it so that I recall it well. So that is an onus that lies on you. It requires a lot of effort, but pays off again exponentially. And final thing, it's about your domain or abstract. I would say I'm clubbing both of them. Uh, you should know about most all the domains that are there in business. There's finance, marketing, operations, HR. Know the basics of all. If you are someone who has a specific interest in any domain and you really want to enter into that domain only. For example, again, it was marketing for me. And since I'm a BCom, but barring BCom, even if I was a BTech person and I told marketing, so they would expect the basics of marketing or just above the basics, one level above the basics of marketing from me. Because I told that, yeah, I want to go into marketing. So if you should know the basics of all the domains, but if you are hell bent towards any domain, know more than the basics. That will actually pay off because if they ask and if the interviewers ask and you are able to answer them correctly, so they will understand your seriousness and they will also acknowledge the fact that yes, you know what you are doing. Else it will look like just a shot in the air. He or she has told just for the sake of saying, and they don't nothing. They're just gassing around. They're just bluffing around and wasting their time. Don't make it look like that. For this, what you can do is all the IIMs mostly release a preparation kit. As soon as you receive an interview call, you'll receive a mail from the committee. A lot of committees are there inside all the IIMs preparation committees. They will send you material. You can even ask any of your friends who is in an IIM right now or any MBA college to send them the materials because it contains all the basics and stuff which you will require to ace your interviews. It will be more than enough material for you to cover. And if you cover them well and seriously, you are definitely on the right path. Also, if you can join a coaching and they provide you with any materials, that's also well and good. But this IM material is also good enough. And the last leg of all of this is the mock interviews. Concentrate a lot on the mock interviews. Take a coaching if you want and give mock interviews. Ask your friends. Ask anyone for a favor. If anyone is taking free mock interviews, there are a lot of forums like Xiaomi and all that run. Uh, Go forward. Don't shy away. Take mock interviews. Analyze your mistake. Fix them. Take another mock interview. Know your mistakes. Keep fixing them. If you don't do this, you are bound to fail. Mock interviews, according to me, is the most important part. You would think that professors or interviewers can ask anything. How do I even answer? I'm a human, I'm not a robot. But once you cover everything that I told previously, your HR questions, academics, awareness, domains, and abstract like black versus white, mm, or data is a new oil, or where there's a will, there's a way, anything that you can connect. So, for example, if you write where there's a will, there's a way, and you show how Netherlands entered World Cup, but West Indies could not because Netherlands was always trying to keep themselves up and upgrading. So, a small country like that, which wasn't being expected in the World Cup, performed really well. So, yeah, something that you abstractly connect. Once you do all this, the five things, then in the mock interviews, you will see that you will start answering questions and you'll start feeling confident. And once you start feeling confidence and take your confidence to the day of interview, you'll ace it. Confidence is the key. There are a lot of other factors that I'll talk about. I'll also make more videos on how to answer specific questions, like tell me about yourself and all, so that you can make a better answer. But this is all you need to know about GD-WAT-PI preparation. If you like this video and you are still here, please share it with people who you think can benefit from this video. Also, I've launched my own GDPI course where 5 seats are remaining, and I'll be giving all my personalized attention to you all uh, and making you prepare with everything that I've said here. So you don't have to run around at a lot of places. Again, remember one thing, even if you take coaching anywhere, they won't spoon feed you. Most of the efforts will be yours. The direction will be shown by the person or the institute. So if you are someone who wants direction along with a few content and obviously my experiences, please feel free to join me or hit me up on Telegram. Let me know if you have any doubts or concerns. The link to my Telegram group is in the description below and the first comment. Show some love to this video and thank you so much for listening. I am looking forward to see some of you all at I am Koribot, and I wish you all the best. May you convert your best call and may the best one win. Thank you. Good day.